ages, and I'm sorry for that. But I'm back. Corinne's Corner is back. It has been a while. I apologise for that. But I have genuinely missed making videos and speaking to myself, which is what it seems like. But I definitely have missed it, and I don't plan to leave it this long ever again, because it's something that I'm very passionate about. So get used to seeing this face, this face, because you'll be seeing a lot more of it, okay? So what I want to talk about today is something that applies to everyone, unless you're like a recluse loner type that stays at home and doesn't do much. Relationships. So I want to talk about relationships because it's something that's very dear to me at the moment, and it's something that we're all going through, that we're all striving for, or striving to keep, or just looking for something. So first of all, I want to start with single people, because we've all been single, we've all been through this, and the most sound advice I can give is the most sound advice that I listen to. When you stop looking for a relationship, that is when you'll find one. I'm not joking. This is what happens. You don't look, and all of a sudden the universe sets something up for you, and it just happens. It just happens like that. No relationship that you've ever tried to force has happened or has been successful, because that's not what good relationships are built upon. The less you try for something, and the more you kind of let it just flow naturally, the better it will be. Things that come naturally are the things that last. And I can honestly tell you that, because it is the truth. Okay? The main thing that I can tell you that kept me going and keeps a lot of people going is trust. This is so important, because nowadays we're in a kind of 2016 age where everyone's cheating, everyone's lying, everyone's doing whatever they want to do, and feelings are getting hurt left, right and centre. And trust is something that's so important. It's like a vase, okay? Stay with me. It's a vase. The trust is the vase. Once the vase is broken, it's dead. As much as you can put it back together, piece by piece, put it back together, look almost new, it's not. It's always going to be broken, and you're always going to have that in your mind that happened and it broke. And as much as I want it to be perfect again, it's not going to be perfect because it was once broken. Does that make sense? Because that's how I see it, and that's what happened to me. And as much as I pushed and wanted it to happen and wanted it to work and pushed through it, once it's gone, it's gone. And we have to just admit it, because there are so many people out there. Why do you have to stay with someone when the trust is not there? You don't. As much as love makes us crazy, because it does, if someone has lost your trust, that's it. I'm sorry. Boom, boom, boom. It's gone. It's out the window. It just is. But there's so many people out there that will treat you how you deserve to be treated. Men and women alike. I am not just talking about guys here. Some of you ladies, naughty. But I'm not just talking about men. Women break trust as well. Everyone does it. You just need to be true to yourself and know to yourself that you deserve better, because you do. Why should you have to settle for less or second best when there is only one of you, and that is the beauty of you? That is what makes you special. Why should you have to be second best to anybody? You shouldn't. And I hope your mama taught you that, because it's true. You are perfect in yourself, and you deserve to be treated as such, as a prince, as a princess, as a king and a queen, because you are royalty. You are. And I'm not just saying that because I believe it, but it's true. You are. Okay? So that's the first one. Long distance relationships. That is a hard one, because I personally have never done a long distance relationship for more than 2 months, and it was bloody hard. But at the same time, it's doable. Back to trust. If you have that trust, it's doable. You just have to be on the same level with that trust. If I trust you 100%, you have to trust me 100%. And it's not a case of, oh, I trust him whatever he does. No. If you're happy with him to do anything that you would do, cool. Just be true to that. You have to be true to that, okay? Because if you're not, and he does something that you're doing anyway, you can't be mad. No. Because you're doing it as well, okay? At the same time, you both have to have that mutual respect for each other. You have to respect what they're doing. You have to respect that what they're doing is what they believe is right. So wherever you may not agree with it or you may not understand it, that's what they believe is right. And that's the main thing. And even if it tears you apart, even if you don't understand it at that moment, if that's what they believe, you as a partner has to respect that and either take a step back or try and understand it and move forward with them, because you're not going to understand everything. Everyone's different and everyone thinks differently, so you're not going to get it straight away. And if you can't get it, like I said before, there are other people out there. It's not a kind of situation where you have to be with one person for the rest of your life. There's one person that you're with now, because ask your mum and dad, they weren't with your dad since they were 10 years old. I'm sure about that. So why would you give yourself the same boundaries? As much as you can, there is more than one occasion where people have been together for 20, 30, 50, 80 years. But it is a very, very rare thing to find. If you find it, congratulations, clap for you. I am very happy for you. If you haven't, 7 billion people in the world, just go look for them. So a lot of people used to ask me about my relationship and they didn't really understand it, because I'm a very laid back person. I'm very relaxed. My partner was very relaxed, and it was very strange because people didn't understand it, because we were so close. We were like best friends. You wouldn't see us together and think that they're a couple. We were just really, really good friends who happened to be in a relationship, which is honestly the best kind of relationship there is. But at the same time, there's levels that you need to understand when you're in that kind of relationship, because you have to still feel special. You have to still feel like you're needed. Because as much as being in a friendship relationship is the best thing ever, it is, but it isn't. Because there's times where as a woman you want to feel like a woman. As a man you want to feel like a man and not just a friend or a buddy or something like that. You have to still respect each other on those levels that is your woman and that is your man. And you have to fight for them. You have to push for them. You have to make them feel like they're the only person in the world that you ever want to look at in your life. And that's the important thing about those kind of relationships, because it's more than just a normal relationship. It's something special. And I think everyone's kind of looking for that relationship where they have that friendship and that relationship and it's just one, because I think those are the best kind of relationships. You just have to find the balance. You have to find the balance of being happy and comfortable. Do you know what I mean? You can't just be comfortable, because I find this with everything that I do. Once I get comfortable, I get bored. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep going, because once you stay in that little comfort zone that you're in, that little ball, yeah, everything dies in there. Everything dies. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but everything dies in there. You don't want to be in there. You want to be outside the comfort. Look how much space is outside the comfort zone. This is where you're learning. This is where you're growing. This is where you're becoming better. This is where you're becoming you. This is where you find yourself out here in all of this space. This is where you belong. But you've been used to this little ball your whole life. You don't know how to be outside in all that space, in all that comfort zone. Outside of all that comfort zone, sorry. So, what are you going to do? You're going to stay where it's warm and cozy inside here, probably in London, because it's probably be raining inside there. Or are you going to travel the world? Are you going to see everything? Because that's exactly what it's like. What do you want for you? What do you want for yourself? As much as you want things in a relationship, you still have to put yourself first. And I have so much respect for people that base their decisions on themselves and not just their partners. Because people these days, they make decisions together. Like, okay, we're going to do this next year. I'm going to get this job. You're going to get this job. We're going to move here. We're going to move there. But is that you settling for what they want? Or is that you still pushing for your dreams? Are you still pushing for what you want to do? Or, I'm in a relationship, I'm going to do what we do. Okay, but then if you break up in 6 months, what are you going to do then? Not saying you will, but I hope you won't. But you're in another country, you don't know nobody, you're broken up, you're in a job you don't like. Do you know what I mean? This can escalate really badly, and I've seen it escalate really badly. So sometimes you just have to be selfish. As much as you think of them, that's where compromise comes into it. And compromise is so important. It's so important. That's how important it is. You have to understand. I say this with passion because I feel it. If you're doing something that I don't agree with and I compromise for you, at some point we're going to have the same compromise right back, because that's when the relationship becomes unbalanced. Because I've compromised for you for this, this, and this, and this, and yet you won't compromise for me at all. That's an imbalance. And anything that's imbalanced, that's not for me. I'm sorry. We have to be equal. As much as we're, men and women are equal, same pay, da 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 da. We have to be equal on a respectful level. You have to have respect for me, whereas you can't expect me to do everything for you and you not meet me halfway. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? Because you're not more important in this relationship than I am, and I'm not more important than you are in this relationship. That's why balance has to come into play, and we have to respect that, okay? So that's basically wrapping up what I'm trying to say about relationships. They can be the best thing ever, but they can also be toxic, okay? Don't let your relationship be toxic, and don't be a guy or a girl that is so blinded by love that they don't see it's toxic. Some of the people close to you, you may say they hate and they may say they're jealous, but they know you and they know you well. So I think they might know what they're talking about if they have concerns about your relationship. Just have a think about that. Leave that in your mind and let me know what you think. Comment down below, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Love you guys. Mwah. The next Corinne Corner is coming soon.